Hey there guys, and we are back. So we've got the deck box, which has been in the recycling bin, or not the recycling bin, on the shelf rather, for, let's see, when was the last time this is updated? 4/16. So that would be 2 months now, over 2 months since we last worked on it, so here we go. Looking at it, I looked over it really quick before we went on because I did not leave myself enough time between this stream and lunch. But it looks pretty straightforward. It looks like all we really have to do, as I recall, is I wanted this to be a hinged flap that flaps upwards. So we just got to add that, attach it to this front rotating plate. And then I believe this front rotating plate was also going to house a dice box, basically a mini dice box. So that would be the sum total of the basic design, and then anything else over that would just be gravy. So now this, okay, that is my deck object. Okay, so we do want to fill in the base, obviously. The base right now is open. We do want to fill that in, is the only other thing I'm seeing. And then again, you know, it would just be cosmetic stuff added on beyond that. So let us get started. And I guess we will start with the hinge. Oh, well, we can start with the, actually, yeah, we'll start with this back part here. So let me take a quick look at this again because, hop back over here. Oops, try again. Okay, yeah, we just need to keep that back corner clear is all. I'm just trying to decide. So basically, I'm looking at this, right? And here's our 90 degrees, so this is the highest this goes up. Technically speaking, any place that it's clear, like, so for example, right here, maybe a little bit more, maybe 40 degrees, okay? It's clear up back here, so it shouldn't hit anything spinning on. I take that back. It might hit. Yeah, it's probably best to just get it all the way out of the way. I take it back. All right. I was going to say, we probably don't have to open it all the way up, but the point being is that this spot right here is open. Well, obviously the whole entire lid's open, but we're going to have this open spot right here that is not going to have the hinge on it because the hinge is going to start here, have another hinge right here, and then the front plate. So then it hinges up, it pivots on a point right here, and then hinges in the middle on this corner. So those are two pieces we're designing, but this back part doesn't really have anything on it to cover it up. The question is what we do about that. When this is all the way down, when this angle is all the way down at 0, you can see it's level, and we won't be able to see, you won't be able to see from the side here because the side in theory is going to be one big box, right? So you won't be able to see that gap from the side, but from the top it looks like we will be. And it looks like, well, actually, yeah. Okay, here's what we can do. I think we're just going to take it all the way down to the deck is what we're going to do. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's draw that. So we're going to take this, we're going to just add a section here that covers from this angle right here all the way up to the top and starts right above the deck. It's going to be a little chunkier than it needs to be, but I think that makes the most sense. So I believe this is the outer case we're working on right now, if I recall correctly, 2 months ago. And what is, okay, no, it's not the outer case, it's the inner case. I do not recall correctly. This also makes sense, though, that it would be the inner case. So, I'm going to need one of these walls. That guy works. Cool. And we'll go ahead and project this stuff out. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep this angle that we have here. So I'm going to go parallel with this angle. Parallel. In theory that angle should work, but for some reason it feels like it doesn't. It really feels like it doesn't. So we will draw it in and see what happens. That's going to end up being a right angle, but I want to project that right now and take him straight down, right angle. And we'll toss another right angle in here and connect all this stuff. Get everything situated. So that's going to be a right angle right there. And this guy up here is going to be a right angle as well. Not that guy. Wrong angle. And that guy is going to be a right angle. Alright, and we'll extrude this across and see what happens. Again, this back angle doesn't quite look right to me, but... Join. Okay. And let us come back up and see how that looks. Which again, I don't got my hopes up, but I definitely can be wrong. I am often wrong. Yeah, okay. Angle is not quite correct. So, it looks like we only need to increase it by another degree or two though. So I'm going to figure out where that's at on the previous version. Oh, is that just a chamfer? Okay, that is just a chamfer. Let's do that. And then hop back out. And actually, I just realized... Well, let me take a quick look at my sketch again. Actually, that is clearing. Okay. I take it back. Okay. So that does clear all the way around now in theory. Again, we'll see how it looks when it gets printed, but that fixes that problem. So now we can move on to the side part. Cool, cool, cool. Actually, not the side part. We'll move on to the hinge in the front now. I take it back. So. This is going to be a outer case, is what it's going to count as, I believe. Yeah, that should be the outer case. Now, the one thing I'm looking at here is this guy looks a bit out of place. It may just be me. But I wonder if we didn't screw something up when we were moving stuff. So I may have to come back to that. This wall, though, I believe is accurate. So we can reference that guy. Okie dokies. Let's get to drawing. New component. Hinge. I guess... Hinge flap, I guess I'll call it, because it's not just a hinge, it's a whole entire situation. And then we'll want new component, front flap, and where do we want to let us? Where is this the right hand side? Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, no construction line there though. Outside gear is the wrong side. Actually, no, that is the right side. That is the correct side I want. So we can use that construction plane. And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab. Let me grab the outside so it's a cleaner. What you call it? And I want to grab the face of the deck box. Okay, and let me turn stuff off. And it looks like we still have, there's the deck. Alright, cool. So here's the front right here. We can extrude that guy out. The hinge is going to be up in this corner. Let's see. It kind of, so... Just trying to think. I think it wants to be interior hinge. So I think the hinge wants to be on the interior, if I'm thinking this correctly, of the corner. It's not really going to want to be there, though. Tangent to this wall. And is this my 3mm? Yeah, this is my 3mm. So we're going to want to throw another 3mm in here. Actually, I take that back. What am I... Where is my inner case? There we go. I actually want to project this guy because this is the height that we have right now. No, I probably still want to make it 3mm. I was thinking probably when it lined up with that, but at the same time probably don't. So let us go ahead and turn that back off for the time being. We at least have that as a reference. And I will go ahead and use that while we're at it. Let's make that tangent there and make this 3mm. Do not have a wall thickness right now, evidently. We can make this a good bit bigger, right? It will just keep on sliding down. It should just keep on sliding down. It's not letting me, but I'm only asking. Huh. Maybe I accidentally intersected these guys, so. Nope, I did not. Alright, let's get rid of you guys for right now because I want to make sure that I have room for this hinge first. And how big are we making this screw? I kind of want to make it like a 2.5 instead of a 3. Just save myself that extra 0.5 millimeter, but at the same time, probably not going to change enough. So there's my 3mm. Need a little bit of wall around there. There's my 2. And I'm just thinking about how this is going, whether or not no, yeah, that should still be tangent to the inner one, if I'm thinking about this correctly. So let's slide this and this. So there's our hinge. And actually, probably should just make that 3. That way it's tangent to this 2. That makes sense. I don't do hinges very often, which is why I'm hesitating a little bit here. But we can make it work. Let's, just because I'm pretty sure. This will end up getting printed on side is how it's probably going to end up have to be printing. Otherwise, well, back here I guess is the only other thing. This hinge, if I put this hinge center of this line, we don't want it to be on top. We want it to be on bottom. Or we want the wall to be on bottom, rather, is what I mean. Is what I'm thinking in my head. So if we want the wall to be on bottom, hinge has to be on top. You know what? I'm just going to draw it and we're going to see. Again, do not do hinges very often. So a little bit of a trial and error here, I think. Yeah, that hinge is going to be not going to quite fit. Fits on the inside, but not on the outside. Where's the deck at? Am I running to the deck right here? I am running into the deck right here. Okay. We do not have enough room. So, let's change that down to 2. Still not going to have enough room though. So, that means we got to back this up. So I can't be tangent here. Let us, you are this line should not be connected right now. And we'll take this back down to 2. This needs to fit. Huh. Alright, this might have to be like 1.5. Because we don't want to go outside of the wall is the only thing. Just because that's messy. So we don't want to go outside of the outside walls. We could make the outside walls bigger, but that would end up causing problems with the inside walls where we cut it in the backhand side. So let us see. Alright, well, here's what I could do. I could, right, these can't be outside the outside wall, so I'm going to start here. That is contained all the way above the deck box, so that is fine. This is going to be, we might have to do something like this is what I'm thinking and what I started to say, where we cut a relief in here. That way we have the clearance to close. The reason I had the hinge on the inside is because that gives you full clearance to close all the way up. So when it's in the upward position, it can just be sitting flat-ish. Well, parallel. The sides will be parallel. Moving it further out like this, we can't get the sides as far straight. Now, that doesn't necessarily matter. For example, in theory, this front wall actually could, in theory, stop right here. And you could just slide your deck out the front, so it only opens up the front. I was trying to get this hinge all the way up, to be all the way up here, so that you had 3/4 open, basically, on the top. But that may not be possible at this point. So, let us see. I'm going to project this out just for the time being, just so that I have it. Then I can turn the deck box off. I'm going to delete this guy and instead set that to that corner, because that's the corner that matters. That's the deck corner. So the outside wall thickness at this point is going to be just what it is. Now this 2mm screw right here, this M2 screw, I've got it as a screw simply because I have screws. Back to, it really should be just a rod. Now, if you recall, 2 months plus ago when I first introduced this thing, I showed you my deck box that I wanted to replace with this guy that I got off Thingiverse, and I had ended up using, because it required long thin brad nails, which I do not have. I ended up using paperclip, which made it super crunchy. It was loud, and because the paperclip is not straight, right? I straightened it out as best as I could, but it was not actually straight. So that did not make for a very good hinge. My problem here is that if I go for something other than a 2mm, which again I have, now we're back to the situation of how exactly we make this hinge, which is a little bit of a problem. So while I would love to go to like 1mm, let's say, so that I have more wall thickness, that is a little bit difficult at the moment to accommodate, is the problem. Because I don't have a 1mm object that I can think of to act as the hinge, to pin the hinge rather. Yeah, I can't think of anything. So 1.5 is not the end of the world on the wall thickness there. It's a little lighter than I would like, but it is what we got. So now let's see here. I'll put an angle in here just to have it. Alright, so I'm gonna need, I guess that makes sense. I want this point, that point, that point. What I was trying to set was this guy right here, really, which is why I was setting an angle, and then I realized I didn't have a distance from here to here. This distance from here to here I don't particularly care about. This angle I do care about, because that is our relief for how much the hinge can close, so we can adjust that. And then this distance from here to here I care about because that's how much meat is connected to the hinge. So that's why I'm using this angle and this distance here, as opposed to setting this distance from this point to this point. Just to explain why I'm doing it that way. This guy, I believe, can just go to right here for right now. And let's get some of this stuff extruded. I think I will go ahead and extrude this guy all the way over. And we are on the front strap. So distance to object, and actually rather than the inner, let's grab the rotating wall, spin top, and go to the inside of the spin top. Okay, so here's the start of our hinge. We do have to add in the little pieces that can interconnect, which again, not entirely sure how we're spanning this or what we're putting in here. Let me rephrase that. We are putting like 2mm in here, but that they're only going to go so far, which means that I only really need 2 little connectors, you know, one here and one here, just to get the connection points. I'd like to be able to run 1 pin all the way across, but I don't know how we're going to be facilitating that, like what we would need to get in order to make that work, aside from just straight up buying a 2mm rod, which I don't particularly want to do. So let us hop back up here to hinge flap. We'll extrude out the top part. Or actually, yeah. We'll extrude from here and just hit new object is how we'll do this. There, distance to object, there, and new component. There we go. Top flap. And now on the top flap, we need to extrude some of this guy. And, pardon me, let's make this 10mm in with another 10mm to go. So 10mm in, whoops, other way. That is supposed to be offset, not object. -10, and we'll go another -10 for that. And we'll do this, actually we'll just mirror this to make it easy on myself. Mirror that. Nah, I take it back. I'm probably not going to need the mirror thing again. The mirror feature again. So we'll leave it off and we'll go from object here with 10mm. 10mm offset rather. That way. There we go. And then we join, and then we'll just cut these two together and add a little bit of offset to make sure our joint isn't rubbing too much. And then we'll add the hinge to the back next. Yeah. All right. So let us combine or hop up here to flap this because this is the one that's more relevant to it. Cut, keep components, keep tools rather. And then, since this is the bigger object, I'm going to go ahead and take the offsets from here. Turn the flap top off. Turn the sketch off. And there, there, and there. Minus 0.05. Cool. We can come back up here to hinge flap and add in our joint as built joint. Doink doink. And this is going to rotate along this hinge right here. Cool. So there is that. And now the top flap needs the hinge to the inner wall, inner case. let's look at, because again, this should be flat right here. So in theory, the hinge should be on top because it needs to open up this way. I wanted it flat, but that may just not be possible. Let's think a little bit. No, it's not really possible. Again, we could relieve this, kind of like we did in the front here, where we cut out a relief here to give it space to spin. We could do that, but it still wouldn't be flat. So since it still wouldn't be flat in that case, there's no real sense in doing it. So, oh, and actually I just realized I made a mistake. So this top flap, which is not that guy, that guy actually is not supposed to be the same size as the other flap. He's actually supposed to start from the inside of, or he's supposed to fit rather inside of the inner case. So we're going to go ahead and do that really quick, fix that. And the offsets are going to change automatically, so that's fine. So everything should still be good. Let's just open up and double check. We do. It is. Everything is fine. Everything's not so fine. We got this problem right here. So how do we want to address this one? I guess we'll just change how we're doing this guy right here. So let's open the front flap up. Drop back here. We're going to cut. We're going to extrude. Actually, we got to fix the sketch first is what we're going to have to do. Do that. Just project that out. And then we can do this. And actually, we should be able to extrude all the way, all like that. So we'll do that. And then we will extrude again just this part. Let me turn the inner case off for a second. Extrude that part from the inner case. Distance to the other side of the inner case. And that's most of our hinge. Now we just need to extrude out the center pin all the way through, and then we'll be good. And I wanted to get distance to object here. I wanted to get the rest of this too, so try to get this stuff out of my way so I can actually select this profile. There we go. And make sure that I'm not accidentally cutting the inner case. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks a little funny on this side, but I'll cry about it. And now we can come back here, and everything should be okay. The offset face, I guess, is, yeah, okay. The offset face is a little different because we changed the profile up here to be flat. Is it giving me a cannot repair error? Operation failed. Alright, so it's not saying you can't repair the faces, which is one thing. It's saying it's just failing. So let's hop up the hinge flap. And actually, you know what? Let us not do this corner then. Hop towards the end. I'm going to back up and put that back in here and then do that. And let's see. There we go. Yeah, so that corner, I made it flat to be, I changed it back to being flap, and now I'm making it curved again. So there is that, and everything should be grooved. Everything's not quite groovy. Let us, just because this is, since this happened, we're going to go ahead and change it to the inner one because that's less likely to be a problem in the future. I may end up changing the edge of this hinge to look different later, is the reasoning there. So Let us see. We are now on the hinge in the back, correct? Everything else is looking good, correct? Alright, correct. Let us turn the inner case back on. For some reason the inner case is colored in instead of transparent. There we go. Much better. So anyway, yeah, this hinge in the back that I keep on trying to get to. We're going to activate top flap because that's what we're working on. And it is just going to have to be a divot in there. No big deal. Just what it is. So let us grab the outside of gear was the one we were working on. Project out this stuff. And then draw in the hinge. Stop it. Give me this face right here. There we go. Okay, and then I also want this right here. And this guy right here. Where's it at? That guy? Alright, cool. There we go. Much better. There we go. And we'll turn those guys off. Turn the body off. And let's toss this hinge in. Again, this hinge is not quite going to be flush, but that's alright. How do we want this aligned here? I mean, it could go all the way up here, technically speaking. I guess at the lowest it can be is quinkadink with this right here, so I guess that's where I'll put it. My deck is below this, right? Let's see. Yeah, okay, I do have all that gap to work with for the deck. Good, 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 good. Hey, Wrath. How's it going? So, since I have all that to work with, we can go ahead and just set this to... well, you know what? I'm going to do 1.5 just because that's what the other one ended up being at. So, one of those things. If one of them breaks, both of them are going to break. So, we'll revisit that in the future in case that 1.5 doesn't work out. So, let us go ahead. Yep, doing well. Quite busy this week. Just a whole bunch to do. So, haven't gotten to stream. But streaming now, so that is good. Am I missing anything? I don't think I am. Don't think I am. Yeah, just extrude it out. If I'm missing them, I'll figure it out. Distance to object. And join. And then we can extrude out the hole in the middle just like before. Distance all. Flip it. And make sure we're only cutting the hinge. Yep, cool. And then just add that to the inside case. The hinge points to the inside case. And what's my distance here? This is looking kind of big gap. Turn you on. No, I guess that is only 3 millimeters. Feels bigger right now, but no, that is okay. Oh no, because no, that should be right. I don't know, for some reason it felt a lot bigger. Alright, so on the inside case, again, we'll just extrude this guy out, turn him off for a second so I can get the profile. And just like the other one, try to select the correct thing. Offset. Or actually, we want object. Actually. Because we need to go from the inside here We want to go 10 millimeters. Minus 10. Or I guess just 10. There we go. And join. And then do the same thing to the other side. Extrude. Turn the inner case off. Grab this hinge. Object, other side. 10 millimeters. 10 millimeter offset. And join. And then just the hole in the middle is the only thing we're missing. Whoops, did I not hit enter? I guess I did not hit enter. Alright, where's this other sketch I keep on clicking? I need to turn it off. There we go. Object, 10 millimeters, 10 millimeters. Join, okay. And then, there we go. Much better. Distance to object. Whoops. Object. I don't think I want to cut the wall, the outside walls too, so that's why we're doing it this way. Otherwise, I'd just do all. Actually, you know what? I take that back. We are going to have to cut the outside wall. So, because there's no way for this to get in here otherwise. Profile plane. Two-sided. All and all. Okay. And since that's so close to the top, well, it's one of those things. We can countersink. We can justify this by countersinking the head of the screw in. Let me check what 2 millimeter head size is. Let's see. It looks like might have to change the battery on my micrometer soon. 3.4. That's what the micrometer's saying. So let's hop in here. Not in there, evidently. In here. And I'm going to add a 3.4. 3.4, and we'll go ahead and extrude that guy out as well to countersink the head on the bolt. And actually, I think we might be able to just do the whole entire thing on each side. Like all the way to the inside of the wall, just because, yeah, it shouldn't really matter. It shouldn't really hurt anything. From object to object. Okay. And maybe a little bit ugly with this overhang. Maybe I get rid of this overhang, just cut it straight up. But for right now, I'm gonna leave it as is. Let's take a look at how it looks. Turn that body back on. Hop back up to the top. Try to get there. There we go. Turn that sketch off. There it is. And yeah. That is correct. We do have to come in here and cut this out now. Combine that and that. Cut, keep tools is good. There we go. Hop back up here. And it's looking a bit better now. Might actually, yeah. I'm trying to decide whether I want to clear this part out right here. Half a second. We're already using those colors. Let's grab other colors. My appearances. What is going on here? Oh, evidently there's a live update that is messing with some of this. Okay. There's brown. Where's purple? I guess purple was one of the things I'm missing. Alright. We'll grab another one then. That, not enter. Oh, there it is. Cool. Alright. So, what I was looking at here is we didn't end up with this problem over here, but we are going to end up with it on the back case. Yeah, because that hinges inwards. That's why we didn't. But you see how this yellow part right here, so the purple cannot rotate. So the only question is, do I get rid of the purple or do I cut the yellow out? And I think the answer is I cut the yellow out, is what I've decided. So, let's go ahead and accommodate that. And we're gonna need this sketch again, not that one, the other one. And this is the outside, right? So we will just cut here. Am I not inside of inner case? I'm not inside of inner case. Okay. And we'll clear out the inside here. And actually, I take that back. We're gonna need back to I added that inner ring, so I also need that inner ring now. There we go. That's better. Okay. Actually, is that better? No, that's not better. Let's do it this way instead. Alright, we're going to back up to here. This is the faster way of doing it. We're going to combine this with this, cut, keep tools, and that will automatically clear it out. Turn the hinge flap off. There we go, and then we will end up cutting the rest of that little flap with the rest of these functions, as you can see. So, I am, however, missing the first one. Where did the first one go? There we go. Did it in the wrong place. What is this object right here? This extrusion. Okay, that's the rest of the top. Okay. There is that then. And we can come back up here to the top. Head forward one. And turn the hinge flap back on. There we go. And we can add that joint now. As built. This guy, that guy, and one in the middle there. Cool. Alright, and there's the front flap, so now we just got to connect the front flap to the spin top. So we'll come in here. I should have do not have a construction for that one. Let's see. Let's find the appropriate construction line, because in theory it's here, around here somewhere. Left inner case. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Let's take a sketch there. We can project this guy and the front flap. And now we can add a hinge to this guy now, I guess. Huh, alright, yeah. Just like before, this does make it a little bit difficult. One of these things, had I left myself more wall thickness, this wouldn't be as difficult as getting these guys fit in here, but we can make it work. We want to put a hinge right here, and again, I don't particularly want to fatten the front side out terribly much. Can I back it up a little bit? Yeah, I can back it up a little bit, right? It might end up being a little bit of a pain to print. So this thing wants to be printed vertically, the front wall. I was thinking I could run a tab out on this guy on the front flap, run a tab out to connect to the plate here, and that would give me more room. Yeah, let's... It's an idea. It's definitely an idea. I'm just concerned about how it's going to print, but... Well, if I only do it on this side, I'll just print on the other side. That's fine. Yeah, that is fine. Okay. So, let us... I'm not entirely sure. Okay, let's finish this sketch really quick and hop back up here, because what was my reason for outer case, turn you guys back on for this cutout right here, because I don't want to accidentally... Okay, that cutout... So here's our hinge going up. Well, no, it won't actually go up like that because this is not pivoting. That. Yeah, so that cutout is bigger than it needs to be, but it is clearance for the unlock mechanism right here. That's as high up as we're going to go. And this guy does cover that guy, right? Yep, it does. Okay. We're going to have the deck box on top of this, or the dice box rather, on top of this guy. So I guess this guy can look a little bit ugly. Was the only thing I was concerned about. But I guess that's just going to have to be how it is. So let us... So that's going to be coming out of this guy. Shoot. Alright. This is going to be a problem because I don't have any wall thickness on the top side. Alright. I guess it's not that big of a deal. It's going to be a little loose, but should be alright. So I will just add wall thickness to the bottom though. We'll just make it 2 for right now since we're being sketchy with the rest of it. Do that. We'll make sure to center this. Turn some of this stuff off so I don't have to see it. Deck. There we go. And you are going to be... right, never mind. We're just going to do this. Perpendicular. And quinky dink. There we go. And now we'll extrude this out. Distance to object. Okay. Again, I don't like how thin this is in the front, but it's just kind of what we got. Actually, let's not miss the bottom as well. Just kind of what we got. So there's that. And now we can extrude out the tab on the front flap. Front flap. And let's turn this stuff off. Where's my sketch at? There's that. All right, distance to object there. And is my... Oh, I'm in top flap, not front flap. There we go. Front flap is what I want. Inner case. Distance to object. Outside a wall, join. And now we can add that joint in. Do 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 do. Okie dokies. And let's see how Fusion handles this complex set of joints. Excellent. Alright, cool. And... okay. So we do need to bring this forward a little bit. So this hinge, the placement of this hinge, because it's right under, we're going to have half the thickness here of this top roof in the way. So we actually want to move this top hinge forward a little bit so that it clears when we're all the way up. As you can see, we have about half the thickness. Technically speaking, as you can see this angle right here, it's not quite vertical. This top piece is not quite vertical, but is still impacting there. So we do want to move it forward a little bit so that doesn't happen. So let's go ahead and hop in there. I can't remember which sketch. Oh no. Yeah. That should be the sketch right here. There we go. And this guy, change that. Change that. Alright, evidently that was not the constraint that I was looking for. This is not the constraint you're looking for. Alright, which one of you bozos has the constraint I'm looking for? Oh, darn it. There it was. Can I get a constraint? No, maybe. What if I spin around to the other side? Let's just delete that. How about we just start deleting stuff? There we go. Much better. So we are going to want this. This is a 3mm wall thickness, right? So we do want this. I'm going to call it 1.5 because, again, it's not actually pivoting all the way up, but there's that. And we can now draw another construction line over here to keep us centered on that, which was our intent to be. Actually, no, I take it back. Our intent was not centered on that. We wanted to be tangent to the top wall, is how we had it set out before. And we may have to come back through here and fix the inner case. Let's see what the inner case looks like. Just because that had some pretty peculiar extrusions on it. Actually, it's not looking bad. Okay, it looks like that adapted relatively well. So I'll take it. Okay. Come back up to the top and take a look at that joint again. Turn everything back on. And rotate this guy. 90 degrees, and there we go. As you can see, it's just barely touching. Actually, it's interesting. So because we moved that forward, right, this angle does change, which makes sense. So since that moved forward, the angle that this was sitting at changed, and therefore we're close to it, but because we moved the full 3 millimeters, we are still clearing. So, rock on. Alright, the last thing to do then is to incorporate the dice box. Again, last thing before any kind of cosmetic changes, at any rate. For example, fixing this gear over here, which is sticking out of nowhere. Which is probably not something, for the record, I'm going to do on stream, but just because it's really not hurting anything right now. Capture position, because we're done with that guy. I'm thinking this is backwards, so I have a motion link right between here and here, and you see how that arrow is off right now? So I'm thinking that's backwards right now. Anyway, back to the dice box as I was talking about. Dice chamber, evidently, is what I called it. So, sketch. We had a sketch for that? I have no idea why we had a sketch for that. Okay. I'm going to put it over here, like I said, to cover up the ugliness of this side. This is funny. I'm a little... Okay, I guess it makes sense there's an edge there, but it's a little weird that there's an edge there. But that's only because these arcs from these things intersect that line, which is why it creates a new edge in Fusion. It's showing a new edge right there, so I'm guessing that's what's going on there. Anyway, anywho, I'm thinking the dice chamber is going to just press onto this guy right here. Now, I might want to, that being the case, this is only 3 millimeters, right? I'm thinking we might want to, whoops, I don't know what I have clicked to begin with, but I was trying to just grab that edge. We may want to make this a bit thicker to give it more area to grab onto, but that is a fix that can happen later on. So basically, we would make this wall a bit thicker, and then we'd also probably want to extend this pin out to match it. Actually, this pin should automatically extend out to match it, so that's not a problem. And back here, whether or not this little lock mechanism works at all, I'm sorry, the lock mechanism will continue to work regardless of how much it's grabbing, just because, or what proportion it is grabbing, just because it's grabbing enough. So, yeah, there. Anyway, we're on the dice chamber. We're gonna hop off of the outside. I'm gonna delete the sketch. Okay, I'm not gonna delete the sketch. Control Z. What body do we have? Oh, I had the dice chamber over on this side before? Huh. Fascinating. I don't think that's necessary. Okay. We're going to ignore that I had the dice chamber on that side and pretend like we do not. Why is the helical rack? Huh. I have this very oddly organized. I feel like a lot of this is wrong. Okay. Regardless, we can come in here, and actually I'm going to pop back out to the spin top and grab a wall on the outside of the spin top just to make sure we have that as a reference. And hop back to the dice chamber, grab that plane as my reference, project out everything, that wall, and that, whoop, not that edge. I want this wall here, and that should be good. Okay. So now we got our bounds that this dice chamber can be, and I'm gonna project out actually the spin top too, just because the spin top doesn't take up that whole area. And because the spin top doesn't take up that whole area, I want to make sure that I position the inserts in the correct place, or in a place that are going to intersect it. So, all that being said, we can now turn this stuff off. Turn that previous body off because I don't know why it's there. Alright. Construction line those guys. Line this guy up with those guys to create the back wall. Toss my tabs in here for this to lock into. It's an interesting idea whether or not I want to do twisting tabs. Again, I was just going to press fit this, but twisting tabs is an idea. It's just one of those things that twist top would have to definitely be thicker in order to accommodate that. Definitely have to be thicker. The only other question would be how poorly would that print? Actually, we could do them coming off of the press top. There's an idea. Or off of the spin top, rather. Yeah. Okay, that's an idea. Okay. I like this idea. Okay, let's back up a second. Delete these guys. This is a good idea. So we're going to pop back out to the spin top and add those on then. So we can use that construction plane that we just created. Toss these in here. How do we want to design them? How do we want to design them? I am a fan of the trapezoidal, what do you call them? Of the dovetails. I like dovetails, which means that we actually don't want to design them. Yeah, okay. We're on the wrong plane then, if that's how I want to design them. So let us Let us see. Do we want to take it from the center then? Alright. This is what we're going to do. We're going to axis through... Where's my axis through? Yeah, axis through cylinder. There we go. I can read. It's okay. Plane at angle there. And that's going to be 90 degrees. We don't have reference angle, but it's just 90 degrees. I wish we had a reference angle. There's that. Project this guy out. Actually, don't project that guy out. Project... I'm trying to project this circle here. There we go. There's that. Turn some stuff off. Turn that dice chamber off. Turn this body off. Alright, there we go. Actually, I take it back. I really should project this front face as well. Body off. Alright, and now we can dovetail. Doink, doink. Doink, doink, doink. Easy enough, easy peasy. Just got to make sure everything is accurate. Do I want to do the square part of the dovetail is the next question. 45. Thinking while I do this. Nah, I don't think it's really necessary. So by square part of the dovetail, I mean, in theory, I could square this off to give it a little bit more meat up here, but I don't really think that's necessary. That's my center cylinder there, so let us get a distance from here to... Oh, Fusion. Why do you do that? You make me so unhappy. There's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. What are you perpendicular to? Alright, good. You're perpendicular to that. I'm good with that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, should be fine. It's funny that it's giving me the option for this angle if this is perpendicular to that, because that is perpendicular to that is perpendicular to that. So this angle shouldn't be possible, because that should be combined. Oh no, okay. So that's why that angle is possible, because this guy is not perpendicular to this wall. There we go. Now this should give me an error if I try to. There we go. Cool. Fusion does in fact work the way I expected it to. We'll set this guy about 10 millimeters down, I guess. Nah, that's a little low. I guess 7. Basically, actually, I should use this because it's the highest point as a reference and leave him at least 3 millimeters away. Is fine. This distance here can be 2 millimeters. So this is the meat that is biting into the whatchamacallit. This guy should be equal to that guy. Cool. And then the height of our whatchamacallit is probably going to be another 2 millimeters. And for the thickness of the dovetail, actually let me draw this line in. No, we won't. We will just dimension it out. This thickness is fine at 3. Alright, cool, groovy. Now we can symmetric this guy. I'm just thinking on my next step, the next step I got to do here, whether or not I'm not going to have some bit of a trouble, because we are going to twist this on. I was thinking we were going to twist this on. It's just a little hard to... I'm going to have to sweep it, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to have to sweep it through the other profile. I just don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Am I happy with 3 overall? I kind of want to leave it like that just because I believe the next part's going to be a little bit difficult. So let's hop back up here to the dice chamber. There it is. Dice chamber. Hop back into the sketch. Nope. Back up. Hop back up here to the main one, and let me make sure that this sketch is after that stuff. That way we have it projected. Cool. And actually, I take that back. I said so that we had it projected, but that's not actually... I'm going to want to do that separately. New body. And the reason for that is, rather than cut it out, we're going to be sweeping it out, which means that I don't actually want that projection to begin with, so I didn't need to do that. So where's the sweep? Or actually, see, I said sweep. Revolve may also work. Revolve might work. Let's grab that and see if we can make it work. Spin top, sketches, that guy. Turn our body off. Turn that body off. Not that body. Alright, so that's what we're doing. Body. Now we want to actually back up just a second. This is our axis that we want. Alright, cool. Alright. Now here's the tricky part. Let's say 30 degrees right now. So that's the lock-in portion. The tricky part is we actually want to rotate that 30 degrees, take the projection, and then extrude it out is, I believe, how we want to do this. Let me do this first and then we'll look at it. Alright, this is neutral position. This is where everything's locked down. So we want this locked down as well. We want to be able to spin 30 degrees or spin 90 degrees upwards counterclockwise in order to open up the front flap. If we spin 30 degrees counterclockwise to open up the front flap, then actually we want to go the other direction on this guy. And we did not want to cut the spin top. That was a mistake. Okay. So this wants to be negative 30 then, in that case. Okay, I think I am going to have to actually combine these guys. So let's hop back here to make my life easier. Spin top. Do the circular pattern. Features, that guy. Select, that guy. Angle 180 is what I wanted, just the other direction. I didn't want to put one in the back here. I think these three, actually, you know what, maybe we do 270. Do it like that. I was trying to avoid getting one back here. You know what, I'm probably being a baby. Let's do full. Okay. So there's that. This guy technically is not on here. Just ignore that. That's just Fusion not updating itself. Now I'm going to want to circular pattern this guy around that axis. There's the spin top. Why can't I see the spin top? Did I? Okay, I can see the spin top. The dice dribbler's some way. Cool. There we go. Two features. What two features? I just wanted this guy. That's one feature. Okay, whatever. Turn that back on. And now we want to combine this with the spin top. There's the cut. Okay. It doesn't quite look right, so let's turn this off. You see that bump? Okay, let us revolve, and instead of that profile, let us take spin top. Let's take the front side of this guy instead. There we go, that's better. Alright, alright, alright. Now, we want to rotate this 30 degrees, I believe is how this needs to happen. So, rotate this guy. Not that guy. This guy. We're going to use that guy as the axis though, because that's what we're rotating around. There's our axis. 30 degrees. 30 degrees, please. Alright, good. Good. It doesn't quite look right. Huh, interesting. Why are you guys falling out of the dovetails you guys are supposed to be in? Hmm. I'm using the same axis. If I'm using the same axis, shouldn't it follow the same circle? Very odd. Let's just... Actually, you know what? You know what we can do? Okay, I see why. I see why, because when we change this to the front edge, following that axis, if you draw this out, you see how it curves slightly weird. It's not going along the center line. So, I get why. I understand. Well, I kind of do. I kind of don't. Huh, actually, yeah, I don't. I take it back. Why are you? If I draw a circle through the center of this guy, that doesn't actually line up, does it? Oh no, because the center of this guy. Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, that does make sense. Huh, alright. We are going to back up then. Delete these guys, and back to that revolve. We are going to have to use revolve then. Or not revolve, sweep, like I said originally. I believe we're going to have to use sweep. So, let us do outside right side. Grab that, project. I'm going to grab that guy, and try to grab this guy, that guy. Actually, that guy maybe. Let's see what happens. Boom, boom, boom. Turn that guy off. Turn the other sketch off. What other sketch am I staring at right now? That guy? Alright, cool. And how did I not project? That is annoying. Alright, we're going to project that guy, and we're going to project. I guess I'll just project that, and we'll make do with that. Alright, because I may need the other one anyway, so do this, turn that, and set that to center of that to get my center of the intersection. There we go. All right. Finish. Actually, I know exactly. Okay, we probably could have used revolve. All right. I realized what I was thinking of incorrectly here. I figured it out. Let's Control Z a whole bunch to get back to where we were before I deleted that stuff. There's that. Okay. I believe I realized my problem here. So we're going to turn this back to this profile instead. Turn the bodies off. That profile instead. This will go back to being at -30. Okay. And what I should have done, I realized, is instead of extruding this guy, this should have been a revolve. So we're going to delete that. Hopefully it doesn't break everything too much and we can just fix things. That revolve there, and symmetric is what I'm going to want. Symmetric. And it's one of these things. I'm not going to get it length, so I'm just going to go call it 10 degrees and call it good. And it's going to show me the rest of this stuff, but that's alright. Feature is going to be this guy. Okay. Axis is that guy. Okay. And okay. And then we can come back up here, dice chamber. And if I look at this now, you'll see this is now smooth. So that was my problem. I extruded straight across, and that gave me the flat edge. Probably something I should have realized when I was doing it. One of those things, I'm going to have it rotating, and therefore it can't actually be flat, but it'll be alright. So at this point, now we need to get the part where it locks in. So this will rotate up. This dice box will rotate counterclockwise to open up the front flap, and then we'll hold the front flap and rotate back clockwise. So counterclockwise like this, so this tab is pushing against the backside here and being dragged along. That works. Then we hold the top part to keep the tab steady, tab steady, and rotate clockwise so that it moves to this side. And then once it's at this side, then we will go ahead and extract it. So let us go ahead and get that implemented. And I think I will, and I started to do this earlier, but I do believe I am going to actually do it this way instead of trying to sketch it out. So turn this body off so that we can get our axis. -30, -30. Okay. Please. -30. Huh. That is funny. Why did it snap back? Let's see. That. Select. That guy. And -30. Actually, it doesn't even have a capture position, I'm realizing. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Whatever, I'll take it. I'll take it. So now we can go ahead and extract, or not extract. What do you call it? Extrude is the word I was looking for. I don't want the profile though. Where's that sketch at so I can turn it off? There we go. So we can extrude this guy, body, distance to object. There we go. And make sure we don't cut the spin top. And then we can just circle pattern that around. Pattern, circular pattern, feature, that guy, around the axis we've been using. That guy, and go. Awesome. All right. Now, let us see. Now we can go ahead and add the rest of... You know what I should have done? So I did it this way just because it was quick, but what I really should have done was I should have added a joint, because we're going to be adding a joint eventually anyway. But it's alright. It's alright. So, we have the outside of the dice chamber. I do not see the outside of the dice chamber, so we will add that now. Inside back wall. Project that out. Throw a offset on there. 3 millimeters, -3 millimeters. Extrude that out. How deep do we want to make it? Like maybe let's see, grab some dice really quick. Whoops. Alright, so each die is let's say about an inch, about 25 millimeters. So let's make it 50. Cool. Okay, join. And then I think we'll just keep this simple, and we'll add a slide in top. So let us change this. Toss this in here. Actually, no. Yeah. Collinear. That's what I'm trying to do. And then we can grab this guy and go 1.5 minus 1.5. Okay. Finish. Extrude. Grab that sketch again. Turn the body off so I can actually interact with the sketch. So it's going to be, this guy is going to be the lid. So let's go ahead and extrude that guy out from this top lip. And we'll extrude him a good 2 millimeters. New component for the lid. And I think we will also give him a lip on the edge. So let's hop in here. Lid. Spin top can turn off. Just trying to get the sketch a little bit easier. Turn the body off. There we go. From object. There. And let's call it 3 millimeters. That's fine. And then we can go ahead and toss some offset in here to help it slide. New offset. Minus 0.1. Normally I do 0.05, but I want this to slide pretty easily. So 0.1. Relatively easily. Hop back up to the dice chamber. Turn the body back on because we need to draw the, or extrude rather, the part that this attaches to. Actually, you know what? I will extrude all of it and then just cut because that's always easier. Distance to object there. From object though, rather. Want it from there to there and then offset that by another 2 millimeters. And we'll turn the lid off so we don't join to the lid. But like I said, we can just go ahead and combine that with the lid to get our cutout. And I will move this. Alright, I can't move this guy unfortunately. So let's delete that guy and then re-add that in because we don't want that offset to impact our cut. That offset could have been left there had I just extruded it in 2 steps around the lid, but because I did not do that, I've got to add it back in at the end. So there's that. We have not used orange yet. Orange. There's that, and then the light blue we haven't used. There's the lid. Alright, cool. And again, this first body, I'm going to delete it manually right now. I have no idea what I was doing with that guy. So, let us pop back up here. And take a look at it. Okay, so here is one thing I should do, is extrude around here to fill in this gap. So let's go ahead and do that. This is the dice chamber. Dice chamber. Let us turn the body off. Whoops. There we go. Turn the body off. And let's get that sketch dead. let's look at our other sketches we have here to find a sketch that is useful. Nah, you know what? Let us hop over here. I believe this was in inner case, left inner side. Correct. Okay, cool. So I will start a new sketch on there. Project out this stuff. Turn that sketch off so I can actually grab this stuff. That guy. This guy. That wall goes all the way up to the top, so we don't have to worry about that guy. That guy. And that should be good. So this is looking like it's going to be a little difficult to print. I'm not entirely sure what I can do about that, but we'll consider it, because now I have features on both ends of that, or on all four sides really. My box goes around all four sides, so that makes things a little bit difficult. I'm gonna just toss this. This should be collinear with that. Collinear with that. And let's look at that really quick. Spin, inner, outer. Outer, please. Yeah, okay, so I do want to go all the way back to the back wall here. So turn these guys back off. And we want to do this and collinear these guys. Actually, do I need to then also extend this guy out? Question mark. No, I do not want to extend that guy out, or rather I can't extend that guy out because of this guy right here. So we're gonna have a gap in here. I kind of knew about that, but I was hoping it would kind of somehow go away. It is obviously not going away. Alright, we'll consider that for the future. Let's close that guy up. We want to extrude all around here is the point of the what you call it right now? Distance to object. There. Join. Okay. And hop back up to the top. Alright. So there is that. I probably should have extruded that guy too. Oh, wait a second. Where is the spin top? There we go. Okay, so I need to fix that. And we can make that corner sharp, so let's do that. Let's fix those guys. Turn this body back off. Okie dokies. Fix this. Collinear here. Collinear here. Oh, that is why. You are not going to the correct place. You need to go here. Now you should work. Yep, there we go. And then down here, I evidently did not project that guy. So now we can fix that. Turn that off, turn that on. Okay. And now we look at it. Turn the body back on with the lid. And we got a little bit right here now. Let's look at that. And now we're just nitpicking. This is stuff that I probably should just fix offline, but actually, what is that? Why is that doing that? It doesn't look like it's doing that, right? On my sketch. Oh, okay. There we go. This is tangent to that. That is why. Okay. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to click. Get me back to the end, please. Click that. And there's an itty bitty part right here. Okay. And we are done. There we go. Alright, so that is that basically complete. Again, I might do some clean offline, but that's how that works. So this guy, in theory, starts out right here. Okay, actually, evidently I did have this going forward, it looks like. This guy is supposed to go forward, evidently. Looking at the gear, how the gear works, right? Yeah, because the gear would be going the other way if I was going this way. So this slides forward, so this actually should start out the position, which means that I'm going to have to fix... actually, no, I can still move the gear back, so it can still look like this. Again, we'll want to clean up some of this gaps in here, but I've already spent enough time, maybe the last 10 minutes, cleaning up gaps, so we're going to skip that for right now. Anyway, point being, this slides forward, which raises this up. This raising up unlocks this latch in the back here. This latch in the back here now allows this to spin. I did not... Whoops. That guy to spin? Yeah, there we go. So this whole entire deck box should be spinning right now with that. So that lifts up out of the way. And it looks like I actually need to cut that corner as well, which is not something I realized earlier. I thought I was clearing the corner. Clearly I'm not. So we'll fix that. One of those things, just one of those. Let's turn that on and then look at it. Okay, that is going past the deck box. So what that means is that this hinge right here on the bottom is going to have to come out. Again, one of those fixes, I'm going to just do it offline because we spent enough time with this. But this hinge will move out, and that will give us the clearance to clear over top here. Once this is over top here, then we can detach the dice box. You know, we can get the deck out, and we can detach the dice box if we want by holding on to those flaps at the top and to keep them from moving, and undoing the what do you call them? Why do I keep on dovetails? Why do I keep on blanking on dovetails? And that would be everything. So that is a project basically done. Again, a little bit of cleanup here and there just to get things perfect, but not worth spending another 20 minutes on stream for. So again, I'm going to call it polished. Like this, like the deck box, the deck falling out the bottom. Yep, that's something that's going to have to be fixed. Anyway, that does conclude this project. So it's been a while in the making, and clearly I had some catching up to do to get back on track, but should work. So I will, once my print queue gets cleared up, I will go ahead and print this guy. Again, right now we're printing the palm joystick for the arcade prototype setup jig rig. I keep on changing what the heck I'm calling that guy. Arcade prototype rig, I guess, is what I've been calling it more recently. So I got to get that printed. I got to get some other parts printed. Well, just one more part printed for the side project that I keep on talking about vaguely, that I showed you at during the project update this morning. And then, yeah, I might have one or two more things that I want to print before I do the deck box, but otherwise, after I get those two things cleared up, it's probably deck box time. So I'll get that printed, cleaned up, and then we'll come back here just for one last wrap-up look at it, and that will be a project totally completely done. So anyway, if you have made it through all three parts, thank you for hanging out. Obviously, this it's been 2 weeks since, or 2 months rather, since part number 2. So if you don't remember what happened in part number 2, feel free to go back and watch it again. Otherwise, that is everything I have to say. Look forward to all the projects that I have coming up to be finished, and I hope you have a great, wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're in the world. Sorry, I totally botched that. Let me back up. I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world, and I will catch you next time.